Greeting to all. I am Dr.Lawrence Immanuel, Assistant Professor in Department of Commerce, Bishop College, Trichy. Today we are going to see about in chapter Income from House Property. An introduction of income from house property. What is meaning by income from house property? Income from house property means income from houses, building, bungalows, godowns, etc. is to be computed under the assessed to tax under the head income from house property. The income under the head is not based upon the actual income from house property but upon nominal income or the actual value of the building. The house property, how to calculate an annual value of building minus deduction specified under the 24. Use of the houses. First one, let out. What is meaning by let out? Let out means giving it on rent basis. Second, owner's residence. What is meaning by owner's residence? Owner residence, for example, I have a house or building but I am using it for my sake, for personal purpose, that is a owner residence. The last, for professional or business purpose. What is meaning by professional or business purpose? For professional or business purpose means if the same house or building, if you are giving to the others the personal or business purpose, then it is the rent. It is called for professional or business purpose. According to the income tax section 22 to 27. The condition of income from house property. The property must consist of any building or land which is related to building. First one, assessee. Who is the assessee? Assessee is the person who has to pay the tax. It is called assessee. First one, freehold rights. What is meaning by freehold rights? The owner of the property, absolute right, they get it as a gift from someone or ancestor property, it is called freehold rights. The second one, lease rights. What is meaning by lease rights? Given house for long run rent purpose. It is called lease right. A is a owner who has a building, so given to the in B. B, it has any construction in temporary basis to in that place, that is B is a tenant. It is known as a tenant. In suppose in B in also in construction the building, the in some way the given to the other person, it is called C. The C is a supplement. It is called rent. Deemed ownership. The deemed ownership, he is not owner but he is enjoying all the rights of the property. It is called deemed ownership. Basis of the charges, section 22. Income from house property shall be taxable under this head if the following conditions are satisfied. The house property should consist of any building or land per tenant. Second, the taxpayer should be the owner of the property. The house property should not be used for the purpose of the business or profession carried on by the taxpayer. The some of the cases, the income from house property, exempted income from house property. Agriculture house property. House property held for charitable purpose. Self-occupied but vacant house. House used for own business or profession. Property held by registered trade union. Income from house property held by a local authority, scientific research institution, political party, educational institution, hospital and medical institution. One house property owned by a former ruler of Indian state. Two self-occupied houses. House property held as a stock in trade and not let out during the previous year. So, we are going to in how to calculate annual value. The annual value is important to calculate house property. The annual value is determined after the taking 4 factors into consideration. First one, actual rental value. Second, municipal rental value. Third, fair rental value. Fourth, standard rental value. The types of the rent. There are in 5 kinds of rent is there. We are going to in step by step. First one, actual rent or real rental value. Second, municipal rental value. Third, fair rental value. Fourth, standard rent. Last, accepted rental value. The actual rent or real rent value. It is the rent actual received by the owner of the house property from tenant. In real rent value, how to calculate the actual rent minus expenses borne by the owner minus unrealized rent. The expenses borne by the owner like lift maintenance, pump maintenance, salary to the security, gardener, etc. Lighting, water and electricity bill. Now we are going to see in municipal rental value. For collection of municipal taxes, local authorities make a periodic survey of all buildings in their jurisdiction. Such value determined by the municipal authorities in respect of property is called a municipal value of the property. Fair rental value. It is a reasonable accepted rent which the property can get if can be determined on the basis of rent which can be get by a similar property in the same or similar locality. What is meaning a standard rent value? It is the maximum rent which a person can legally recover from his tenant under the Rent Control Act. Standard rent is applicable only in case of properties covered under the Rent Act control. Accepted rental value should be calculated as follows. A. In case standard rent has not been fixed, municipal rental value, fair rental value, actual rent received, whichever higher is treated as accepted rental value. In case standard rent has been fixed, municipal rental value, fair rental value, standard rent received. Municipal rental value and fair rental value, whichever higher is taken as accepted rental value. Calculation of the annual rental value. How to calculation in annual rental value? Step by step we are going to see now. Step 1. Municipal rental value and fair rental value is compared, which is higher accepted rental value. Step 2. Accepted rental value and standard rental value is compared, which is lower accepted rental value. Step 3. Accepted rental value and actual rent is compared, which is high annual rental value. Now we are going to in conclude part how to the finalist income from house property in the format to calculate income from house property, particulars, amount. Actual rental value less due to a vacancy in add to a gross annual value. Now municipal minus municipal taxes in calculate net annual value. Now minus standard deduction at 30% section 24 subsection A minus interest on borrowed loan section 24 subsection B. Now conclude we are in result now income from house property. Thank you so much. Going to the next class.